Hey everyone, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and today for movie night we're going to do a new movie, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So I saw this movie last night, so I got to let it sit and think about it beforehand. I might be burping and coughing, so I apologize. I just had a Tums because my stomach was hurting, so sorry about that. But yeah, so anyway, so this is the newest Ghostbusters movie, and I'll talk about what I like and dislike about it before we get into spoilers. So, I really like that it kind of involved the old cast a lot more. We got the original Ghostbusters in it a lot more than they were in the Afterlife movie. The villain was actually pretty interesting. Some of the story involving Phoebe and a different ghost I thought was a pretty fun idea. The ghost designs, of course, always great. Some things I didn't like were it did kind of put Lucky and Podcast in the background. Didn't make sense to me that the mayor was still the mayor. And, yeah, I think that was the only two things I didn't like. I also liked that Ghostbusters kind of became a big corporation due to Zedmore, which I thought was pretty fun. But yeah, the other thing I didn't like was the whole firebender idea. But we'll get to that in talking in the story. So I'm going to give this movie a 8 out of 10. I don't know if I like it as much as Afterlife, but I know I did like it. So we're going to go ahead and talk about spoilers now. I'm going to give the whole rundown of the story, and then talk about what I thought was cool and what I thought wasn't. So this is 1 year after Ghostbusters Afterlife. The Spengler family are basically the true Ghostbusters, with Paul Rudd being the doesn't know where he's at yet to being stepdad or family friend, which his whole thing in the story is trying to figure out if he is the stepdad or just a family friend. They go after a ghost that is like the Chinatown ghost. They're going after and they cause a lot of damage. And the mayor of New York, who is still the mayor from the 80s, is upset with all the damage and makes them bench Phoebe because she's only 15 years old. And that's child labor. So, through the whole movie, Phoebe's trying to prove herself that she can be a Ghostbuster. And she does meet a particular ghost that she develops a friendship and maybe something more with. But the ghost is actually working for the main villain. Now, with the main villain, a guy is trying to basically sell off his grandma's old stuff for a cheap buck. One being this ghost Pokeball thing that has an ancient god in it that can mind control ghosts, and tries to sell it to Ray. Ray takes it in and almost instantly realizes that it's something dangerous, so they take it to the international Ghostbusters, I guess. The ones that study and everything. Also with this, the containment in the firehouse is getting too full where it's breaking down, which is something that I thought was a really cool concept because, yeah, there's no such thing as infinite space. But yeah, so anyways, as they're doing that, the the villain gets let out, and they have to kind of stop it. This thing's way too strong, and it turns out that the guy that was selling it is in a long line of firebenders that can stop this god because the god is obsessed with his power is freezing stuff. In that we get every single Ghostbuster fighting him, including benched players and stuff like that. We get to see more lore also build around it. I'm not going to go fully in detail because I want you guys to see the movie. But I do want to say, too, Finn Wolfhard's character was also kind of backbenched. He does stuff in it, but mostly he's kind of just there, it feels like. Like, they're like, yeah, well, he's the brother, so he has to kind of be there, but we don't know what to do with him. It's definitely a Phoebe story, and the mother and Paul Rudd, it's their story. But everybody else, besides the original Ghostbusters, it did kind of feel like we're there just to serve the plot. I did like that we did have more focus with Ray, Zedmore, and Bill Murray's character does show, Venkman does show up for, like, a scene before the final battle. But, yeah, and it's to find out that the one guy's the firebender. So, yeah, I like the whole, like, friendship that Phoebe develops with the ghost, and actually thought it was kind of, it was a bittersweet ending of the ghost passing on to the other side, because she redeems herself. But, yeah, it was a pretty good way to end the film, and obviously they're probably going to set up for a threequel. But, yeah, the only, like I said, the only issue is a lot of characters were kind of put on the back burner, and it is a very fast-paced movie. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. It's that Nerd Ryan,